Yeah, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I cannot join you today. So normally I really enjoy the talks in the pauses with you guys. But unfortunately, during the COVID situation, I have to stay at home at the moment. Together with my partners from Interactive and SAP, we would like to show a use case today, a B2B use case, virtual reality, invented by Volkswagen and developed together with SAP and Interactive. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Christian.
Yeah, my name is Christian May. I'm from Interactive Solutions Engineer, and I'm happy to work with Michael.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Michael Spiess. So it's Spiess. And I'm venture lead for extended reality. This venture was founded in February, and SAP is now looking in really finding productive solutions with their customer. And this was really a great opportunity to work here with Malte on that virtual reality project. And I hope there will be more to come, because this venture grows with our customers. We do not have a roadmap and a big investment budget, like maybe other SAP products. So we really rely here on customers like you who are co-innovating with us. Yeah, thank you. And now I would say we start the first slide. And Malte, it's your turn, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, so as Michael said, we have worked about, I think, 18 months together with Interactive and SAP on this use case. And I'm really excited to share this news with you, as we haven't done that before with the public yet. So maybe go back to my introduction. So before I joined the VR train in 2016, I was an SAP project and a program manager. So I have a long-lasting SAP history of more than 15 years. And that's why we came up with the idea to use virtual reality to optimize our SAP implementation projects. So I think most of you are using SAP inside your companies. So of course, you know about the big challenges that comes if you're implementing SAP for the first time or doing upgrades in processes. So the first main challenge is that the business side and the IT side must have the same level of knowledge to understand themselves. So the business guys must understand what SAP processes are capable of and which variants and what the differences between the variants are. And the IT guys must understand what are the key values that drives the company of the client. And then it comes directly to the selection problem. So in the design phase, you have to decide which process variants should be implemented. And that's a very critical act in a process project, because if you are going to change that afterwards, that is a huge additional effort. And I think all of know it, so that the issue of change, so people must be convinced to change. So it's a mind shift issue. And that's very complicated, even if people are very keen on the processes, but they have no deep understanding of IT systems to convince them that the change to a new SAP system or a new SAP process will be of value for them. And then, of course, you have the cost issue. So SAP projects are mostly large projects with a lot of people involved. And so you have to keep to the budget. And these days, of course, you have also the issue of social distancing. So in the past, we have done very large meetings with a lot of people to discuss process variants and pros and cons. And with the COVID situation, actually, you can't do it. So that are the main challenges. And on the next slide, we will see why Volkswagen believes that virtual reality can help us in this project. Because virtual reality gives a simulation of the future. So it's like a back to the reality, back to the future with VR. So you can explore and interact in a natural way with your team. What will the future look like? You have 3D objects that looks quite natural, like forklifters and bins and boxes and all that stuff. And you can even explore the SAP system integrated. That's a solution we invented with SAP together. And it's in a simple, natural way. So people are happy to use this way. Maybe the people are not so happy to use flowcharts and PowerPoint all the time. So they are even very keen on using the VR technique. And what's best for the project is that we found out that this new solution saves up to 10% of the working hours in an SAP project, which is, if you have a large project like VW, it's really a lot of money. So to give you an impression how we have started in 2016 and where we are now with our usage of VR in the area of production logistics, I brought with me a short movie.
Keine Sorge, Sie werden von uns durch jeden Schritt des Prozesses geführt.
So VW has a
Sorry.
VW has a history of several.
Yeah, it's
Sie werden von
just
uns
not
durch jeden
going
Schritt des
on.
Prozesses geführt.
Let me just. No, sorry.
So VW have a long history of using VR for training and production workshops for more than 4 years now. And that brings us in the perfect position to go the next step and to use virtual reality to support our SAP projects from start to end. So to give you a short overview where we are can be helpful to a SAP project. So if you start with the global template toolkit at the beginning, that's where we are helps to train the team about the processes, about the process variants, about the situation they have inside the factory, and inside SAP, and to bring both worlds together. And then we have the design and realization phase, where SAP can help the team to manage the pick problem, so they can easily understand which variants, which pros and cons they have. And it also helps for visual reviews and interactive testing. So the need to develop in SAP. You can also use it for agile testing at the end. And if the template is realized and you go to the local facilities of your company, you can display the standard processes in a natural way to people to help them to convince that SAP will be of benefit for the business, and to help to understand the selection and adaptation process inside the company. And of course, it could also be used in the realization and testing phase, like in the template design phase before. Which very interesting is that if you're using VR to design your processes, it's only a small step in the next step in a project to come from design to training, because the processes are already inside of SAP and VR. So we can use the VR simulation to add additional information, and then you have a key user training and a workforce training at the end. And the most crucial phase, of course, the project is the go live. So you have to shut down your systems and your production for the go live, and then you have to make sure that you have a fast ramp up phase again. And of course, there's always a need of a hypercare team inside the factory. And VR with the mobile glasses these days has the perfect opportunity to support the people by using VR glasses inside the factory to retrain people in critical situations. Okay. So to go back to the challenges you're facing. So if you're doing not remote workshops, but real workshops, you have always the problems that budget cuts, ill people, canceled flights will prevent you from having all people in one room. And then you have always to explain to the people who missed the situation what the workshop was about. You have a misunderstanding, so people think that they are talking about the same things, but as you're using improper objects like post-its to simulate logistic or production steps. It's not sure that the people have the right and common understanding, especially if you're talking about very complex processes. And at the end, of course, there's the understanding between the IT guys like Michael Spiess here in the picture in the right corner below. So the people who are not common about SAP, if they look at the screens, how can they get the link between the SAP screen and the process? And that's really where SAP and VR can have a common, very good solution together. On the next slide. So we found out at Volkswagen that virtual reality and hybrid reality can really help to speed up our projects and to save costs. Must everybody wear VR glasses in our workshops? No. So the team is looking at the situation on a TV screen, and the session lead is below the glasses and explaining the process. So he interacts with 3D objects. You will see a small movie after this slide. So it's easy to understand. You have clear visualization what you're talking about. There are no misunderstandings. The perspective gap between IT and business can be closed. And the best about is that only normally a few people can attend a workshop. And they have always a problem if they go back to their local plants to explain about the workshop results, how it will involve the local business. And as we are as a software, they can take the results of the workshop with them. So they can involve also the people in their local facilities with the workshop results. And of course, you can provide training at any time, everywhere. So we get from yesterday to tomorrow by using VR for our SAP implementation workshops. And the best of it is that it saves a lot of working hours, up to 10%. And it also prevents change requests at the end. So if people have a very clear understanding about the process and the IT solution at the beginning, or right from the beginning, then you are definitely reducing the number of change requests afterwards. Okay, Michael, how does the solution look like?
Yeah, let's have a short video. So this was taken from VR users, and I mean here we are now flying through warehouse. Yeah, I mean this is only possible in VR. And yeah, you did, I mean I did not get sick, yeah, but you have to get used to it. Well, I mean you can have a little bit fun here, but actually as you see here on the right corner, this is real business. So this is an SAP system running behind, and looking now for the right stock taking transaction. So inventour. Yeah. So what we do here now is a stock taking process where we now have to really measure now the grades, the Kisten, ne? And now we are downloading here a scanner which is connected to the S4 system. And now, yeah, we log into the S4HANA system, and what you see here in the front, these are real barcode labels also coming from SAP. And that is a real UI here, what you see. Yeah, it's a very old one. Yeah, we have newer ones that also work, but the scanner ones are a little bit old right now because they are customized to the real scanner software. That's the reason here. But I mean, what's here really amazing, and we did not even know that this really works 18 months ago, that you now scan this, how would you do in real, and now this here is how the system reacts. No? So it's really not different to the reality, how the system behaves here. And we have also not something mirrored or in addition programmed, yeah, to have this feature. Yeah, so you could now connect this to your own SAP system and run the same software here, and you will have your customized results, how your warehouse runs. Now you could simulate this also. Of course, you need some assets, and you need the warehouse. You have the BIM model maybe, yeah, and you need the grades and all that stuff. But yeah, bringing the SAP experience into VR is not really an issue with our solution here. Good. So let's go to the next slide, and I will tell you shortly, how this works. I mean, we do not now a software products training, but what you start here actually with connecting your system, what you have, to the SAP Cloud platform. And here we have developed a service, a microservice, which is now called XR Cloud. And this extended reality cloud can then connect to the scanner of that S4 system, and is also connected to the interactive creator in that VR application. So the SAP platform makes the trick, and it can connect from the architecture itself to any SAP system. So we have just used that technology. And as soon as you have done that step, you are now going into the interactive creator, and that's a great tool. Christian will now later in the next slide talk about. You can prepare that as an with even no code, so you do not know how to coding C# or something else in Unity. You just click and drop. You can execute that workshop and upload the VR application to the portal, to the inactive portal, so that you can publish it to your company. And last not least, you have also in these workshops also to document, of course, your results. And this is what you do with the solution manager or any other kind of business blueprint tool. So we have not done a strong connection to that, but I mean, of course, you want to write down your workshops, and we have tried it out, and this works also. That you're not just doing the VR workshop and then you leave, you really put the output out of that and document this as well. Then a shorter look to how the XR Cloud looks. Actually, do you see this, Katrin? That's the Bahnhof, deutscher Alexanderplatz. So I mean, what you see on the left side is the XR Cloud, and to do that experience, you have to upload so-called smart assets, and these can be that scanner, these can be these barcodes, or it can be even BIM models. If you want to have a virtual or augmented reality experience with this. And on the right side here, you see the Unity integration toolkit. And I mean, you have seen these 3 exhibit booths here, down there. All they rely on the Unity platform. And we here at SAP think that if we take care for integration into Unity, then we can get all this business data from your systems, your data into XR devices. And that's why you have developed that integration toolkit, which you as a normal user would not know or use. It's for our XR developers. And then they can create their smart assets, upload them, connect it to the SAP system, and do the magic you have just seen. Good. To the sake of time, I mean, it's not only slides, so this actually works. But I do not want to bore you now with all these screenshots, and it's only, I want to say we have developed it and it works. It's not only slides. Okay, and now, I mean, I want now to skip to that amazing interactive creator, to Christian, and explain you now how this works.
Okay, thank you. So basically in Interactive we have 2 tools. So our goal is to scale and the creation distribution of VR training applications. So we do this by having a tool that helps you to create trainings and having a tool that helps you to distribute trainings. As Michael already said, the creator is the one that we will focus on today because it's the most relevant one, because it connects the SAP and cloud system with 3D data and with your process information. It enables you to make it easier to create these applications. And important to know is our goal is to make it simple, standardized, and scalable. We don't want to build one app. We want you to build hundreds of apps. So that's our goal. If you only go for your first POC, that's not a tool that you will be happy with, because you are asked to build up on our tool to create your own standard. We heard today a lot about standardization, and everybody has his own needs and You want to do things that fit to your business and to your needs. And that's what we enable with the creator. I'm not doing the full product presentation now. I just show you the use cases we see in here and that really work and that are really nice. So you get an impression, an idea how you could make use of such a system. In the SAP case, it would be the task of a worker to do something in a factory hall. But there's some steps before, and there's only one step including SAP. That doesn't mean that it's not important. But we connect these actions in the physical world, worker asking his boss for a task, then finding his workplace, and then starting to work with the SAP system to one whole experience. So we basically store the process here, connect it to the SAP interaction, and bring it together with 3D geometry. So if we do that, what can we do with these possibilities? So the first thing, of course, is we want to create such a process. That's something really easy to do. This is what an external person will see from a training example, and you could see here, there's the Start Process button. You have to click it, and then a label gets printed. It's a part of a process. It's a really simple process, but I want to show you that it's actually really simple to do something like this. Because most of you are not developers, no IT experts, but we want to get the actual domain experts into Unity and build their processes in here, because you know the processes and you know how they should look like. And that's why we have this visual GUI. We simply create click and we have simple mouse interactions, drag and drop interactions. I just had an existing workflow, deleted a step, and I'm creating a new step. So I can change things afterwards. That's really powerful, because if you do it in code as you do it today, it's a lot of work to change something like this afterwards. And you can even do more complex stuff. But just for the sake of it, now we need to check if the worker is touching the button. I drag and drop the button there. That's all I need to do. Now this button is interactable in VR, and it's integrated into the process. So it's doing what I wanted to do. I create the standard. And we already offer you some base functionalities, but of course, extend it to your needs. Change it to what you want to have. So we make things highlight purple. If you want to have them blue, make them blue. If you want to have an arrow pointing at stuff that somebody has to touch, make arrows out of it. The next thing interesting on this use case is changing this workflow afterwards. So the SAP system is always embedded into the real world. And as you can see here, again, this is our workflow editor. I already included different possibilities to go through process. So in the first example we saw, I have to press the button of this screen. But maybe you are brainstorming, you think, okay, how should we do it? Should we do it differently? And I knew, okay, they will ask for a different option. So I already included it in here. So it doesn't matter, because in this process, I store the process information, and I can include both screens to be valid options to complete a task. So I have the possibility to actually work with the Unity data, with our process editor, to refine my processes and to work on these processes. And I could even do more advanced stuff, like on the run, I'm on location and I realize, oh my God, they don't have these screens. They have completely different options to interact with the SAP system. It's like a TV screen standing up there. Is it still working with our solution? So I take out my laptop, I set a dummy object up there, and I integrate it into our workflow that we just have seen. So I can try it out if it's actually doing what we wanted to do and how we want to operate it in this process. The next thing is that we always stumbled upon was reusing workflows. So as we separate the process information from the 3D geometry, we can easily use this information in other projects. So when I'm as an SAP consultant, then I build up a tool chain of systems that work together. And I think about how workers move through the real world. But ideally, I can store it anywhere, in our case in this process, and customize it for my client, because my client doesn't really speak the language. We were talking about this, of SAP, whatever sheets where a lot of numbers are made. They want to understand, what does it mean for my factory? And as you could see here, I just have random blocks. It could be anything. And now I make these random blocks connected to my workflow and can show to my customer, hey, look, in your facility that would look like this, and then we can identify if this process fits to the facility or if we need to make the adaptations. So I can ensure that we are speaking the same language. Finally, when we have clear processes and we have all these apps created, we have the need for secure deployment of virtual reality applications. In our case, we do this with the portal. It allows things like user management or grouping users, because you don't want to see every user, every app, or interact with every app. You can manage these app versions, these applications within your company, or you can also think about monetization things where you want to sell applications to your clients, and you can manage the access rights and everything in our application. Then you can also do something like permission management, because you want some application only to be visible for like 30 days. In our case, I now going to restrict the access right for our CEO, so he doesn't know what we are doing there. I hope I deleted it. I think so. And then basically I go to the front end and I can see all the things that I've just done. So when I'm a user, I will see this beautiful Netflix-like interface, and I don't have to care much about as an end user. I will open up my laptop, plug in the headset, press play. That's all I have to do. Because about all the other stuff, the technical stuff, we take care with our software. So in this case, I now customized it to a beautiful pink color. I don't know if this was telecom in the earlier days, magenta maybe. And now I should, but I think it's stopped working, using the portal. Now I will show the offline client that I can open to also be able to start applications when I'm offline, or to make security checks that people are not able to use your applications without your permission. And you saw I had 3 clicks: install, download, play. That's all I can do as a user, and that's all I want to user to do, to limit the possibility of misusage. And that's basically it, what the portal can do for you. In combination with the creator, we offer the tool change that connect to SAP. And with this, you want to finish, right?
Yeah, thank you, Christian. Yeah, just some words now about, how do we integrate these amazing applications like InnoActive Creator, but also the Vision Lib for the AR experience. If we have that tons of different data, almost every department in the company is using SAP in some way. So let me just have some talks about that, because we have a lot of different XR devices here, yeah, and everything has its own speciality. And that's why I again say the Unity platform is the one to go, because with that you have just one line of code and you deploy it to up to 25 devices. So, but how we do that integration? And this integration, I call that the smart asset concept. There's also a blog you can read if you Google for extended reality SAP. It will be explain you how this works. But well, smart assets are 3D objects with SAP intelligence. So they are connected to the back end, or they already contain metadata. Like for instance, for a 3D model, what material numbers the individual components are. And now, you can either, if you are a developer, download these at design time and embed them into the InnoActive Creator. And we both have developed an open source template for SAP InnoActive Creator that allows you to integrate these smart assets. We have at design time in your InnoActive Creator application. And then you have done the connections to the process step. You now switch to the runtime, where you start your VR application, and then you get these SAP information at runtime to your device. And this works for virtual reality, but also for augmented reality and mixed reality, of course, And especially, I mean, with the help of VisionLib, you can do really great object tracking applications which help you to augment the right SAP data to the right component. If you look now, we have also in the morning some talks about how to get the 3D data, right? And this is also a challenge we cannot solve. It's a business challenge because the manufacturer very often has the 3D data and is a little bit limited and would not like to give that away for free. That's why I think that if we introduce a concept where you can sell your own smart asset, your own machine you have produced, your own 3D CAD model, of course with the SAP data, so how can I replace it, what's the lead time, to a business network like Ariba, like the Asset Intelligence Network, then you have a win-win-win situation. I mean, the manufacturer can have a digital revenue stream because he's selling the 3D model to the operators. The operator is happy because he gets current business information augmented to the real object or in a virtual reality experience. Exactly, the machine is doing what it should do, and it comes from the manufacturer, and it is updated when a new version comes. So that's also a big benefit. And of course, last but not least, SAP with keeping a small provision, like it is like every platform, we have also a win here. And I mean, you can also say, well, why only machines? I mean, look at our shoes and how many shoes are we ordering and send that back, and increase the carbon footprint. Why not having the digital shoe, augmenting it to your feet? It fits. Okay, then I'm very sure I'm ordered it, and I do not have to return it. Saving carbon footprint. There are other use cases, but we are running out of time, maybe in the panel discussion. Just one word about that CAD model problem, where to get the CAD model from. We have the Siemens PTC world and Dassault systems who have great PLM systems, and here the engineers are at home. And the engineers are not liking SAP very much. They say, oh, it's accounting. But we have a bridge, and this bridge, we have a couple of standard products which help you here to get the 3D model and, of course, also the engineering data in our systems. And then you can procure it, you can manufacture it. And in the second step, when you have your data, your master data about all components, the material numbers, how to purchase it or how to produce it, then you can reference that with a new product which is now on the market, SAP Enterprise Product Development. And this does most of the job for you. You reference then that SAP data, and then that tiny step you need for the AI experience, this is what I can offer you. That's a project solution. And let's look what this does. So that project solution is kind of that Unity integration toolkit I showed to you that helps you to download these models from SAP, and then you use the XR Cloud and upload this then for application use like the interactive creator or for an object tracking application. So you can join this extended reality cloud right now. I even, since last week, I have a customer. I mean, this is pretty new, so and hope maybe you are one of the new customers. And with that, I want now to hand over to Malte, who gives you now a recap of the really exciting virtual reality use case here.
Yes, thank you. So we believe that virtual reality will really help us in the future to drive our SAP projects in a best way. And so here I brought a picture with me we have developed a few years ago, how the future may look like at Volkswagen by using AR and VR glasses digital assistants, how a combination of notebooks and tablets can work together with digital twins. But let's go on to the next slide. So a short recap. So this solution we have shown to you helps to speed up your projects by preventing misunderstandings and providing easy to understand training environments. So it saves costs in many ways, like reduction of travel time, reduction of change requests, virtual reality trainings, and so on. It's easy scalable due to the solutions that you have seen from Interactive, like the portal, and the accessibility to change the environment if you are changing the project facility. And it really helps to understand for people how the future looks like, and to convince them that the implementation of your project is of benefit to them. So it helps to raise the acceptance of your project, which is quite vital for the success of the project. And the best of it, so Michael have already told, the solution invented by Volkswagen is accessible in the near future to all of you who would like to contribute in the pilot group. And thank you for your time. So if you have questions, Christian and Michael will be happy to answer them in real life. And I'm happy if you get contact me on LinkedIn so we can continue our conversation, or even now in the open conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.